Hey there, it's Ted. Today we're going to do a quick book review for rules and stuff. Today this is the game at my go-to rules for I do Napoleonics. This is one I like the best. It's Black Powder. Um, First off, if you're looking for a easy set of rules that if you want to get miniatures on the table and start playing, this is a set of rules to do it. So when you're out shopping, looking around for these, there are two sets. This is the second edition rules. Yeah, make sure it says the second edition out here. There's also a first edition set of rules. This is one I still see for sale out there. So this is the first edition. The only difference between these two editions is they tweak some of the command rules for the generals and stuff, but basically the mechanics are all the same. So if you're looking for some of the hardback rules, this is make sure you get these. But if you get these, you still there's not much difference. But I said some of the generals have been changed on how they work and stuff. So that's and how they tweaked it and stuff. So, but I said like my earlier review about the Waterloo starter box, you get this in the box set. So if you get that, you don't need to worry about this. This is just you just want a larger print. So this is the one. If you decide to get it, this one, make sure it says second edition on it and black powder. So the rules cover the Napoleonic period, but you can play these rules from it's basically from 1700 to 1900. Um, for any of those 200 years, these rules will cover it, and we've played all through those years. We never had a problem with it, so it does work fine for all those rules. So it's basically straightforward. It's all in color. Real lots of good eye candy in here. If you're just getting into it, if you need some ideas how to paint units and stuff, the pictures they offer allows you to paint forces up for them. So it can help you out there. It doesn't have a lot. It's not a painting guide or anything, but it does help you if you're just starting to get into it. It does help you out. Um, and the chapters go by the move sequence of the game. Uh, Basically, you got initial start turn, move, fire, melee, and cleanup phase. That's it. Um, I'll be going making other videos on how to play it. The videos are gonna be based on if you've never played Black Powder before. So if you're experienced enough, it might not be for you, but it's gonna be for people who are interested in trying the rules. It'll be a step-to-step guide on all the mechanics of it, going through it. So, but this was just taking a quick walkthrough. Um, so it has everything you need. It is a semi-thick book, but only about 100 pages are rules. Okay, I lied. About 113 pages of rules, but within the rules, they do a lot of explanation on each one. So, and said with these, a lot of the rules you will not be using. It does they're just trying to cover all different aspects of it and everything. So if you're not using something, you don't have to worry about the rules or anything like that. So, like one thing that I do is like skirmishers. They got a chapter on how to use skirmishers. And our games, we really don't use skirmishers. We find that slows the game down. We do have skirmish units, which are just like a regiment that's been broke down to skirmish. You can run it that way. But if you do it historically, every unit will have skirmishers on the field and stuff. And we tried that once, and it just slowed the game down. There's a lot of maneuvering and this lot. So either you can pretend they're there and just take the benefits from it, which is observe. It gives you a little cover save, or just don't worry about it. And we find out we don't really worry about it because we're play. So we can play a game in less than 3 hours with it. So if you have a limited night playing or limited time, you can get a good game in. So this is why I use this for. I do a lot of my most of my gaming at conventions. So I find out this is one rule set by turn one, and by beginning of turn two, you can step back and the players are running the game for you, which is really really good because they got the rule, they understand the rules and the mechanics, and they're playing. He just has to step in when they're having some problems with it or something came up during the game, which is nice. With these rules is something does come up that it's not covered in the rules, and there'd be some instances on that happening. When that happens, the rules basically say if that happens, work it out between the players, what makes sense, and just do it. If that doesn't work, get a set of dice out, high, low, even odds, works it out that way. So it does allow for areas of change. So and said, and some of these rules, if you don't like how they do it, you can change it up to work it in the way you want it to work out. Uh, so like I said, skirmishers, I don't really bother with them. Um, Other game systems that people runs the skirmishers, and they love running skirmishers. That's fine with them. It's just I don't. It doesn't to me to feel this slows it down, and I'm in there to have fun, roll dice, and have fun and have a good time playing. Um, so it's all up to the person who's running the game how they want to do it. You can do whatever you want. So yeah, so like I said, this game covers about 200 years from about the War of Spanish Succession all the way up. I run this with Spanish American War and had no problem. Uh, it's just anything linear combat, just lines of troops. But beyond that, it doesn't work anymore. It's not written for that period. So anything before 1700, then you need to play their pike and shot set. Yeah, pike and shot set of rules that covers pike blocks and early muskets and stuff. That covers about 300 years. And then you go back beyond that, and you got the Hail Caesar time period and stuff. So, but what basically talking about this Napoleonic, there's quite a few supplements to the black powder, which gives you flavors of the different periods and stuff. So it does it gets all the rules that you need. The morale, special formations, the the weapons that were used, which is nice because there's quite a few weapons, but they all operate about the same way. They're all either muskets, and then you had and some rifles later on. But that's about the American Civil War when most rifled muskets come in. But before that, you had some, but they're specialist units, and it was all smoothbore muskets. So basically, about 150 years of muskets, which basically operate the exact same way. Never, and it hasn't changed. So artillery, basically all artillery was the same. It depends if they're heavy, light, medium, smoothbore, and there is some rifle artillery in there too. But I said up to the Civil War, after that, then it's basically rifled. But it gets the special rules for the troops. I said I'm going to go more detailed when I go into my gameplay on how to play. I'll go into more detail about how building your armies, than fielding your armies and stuff in play. So at the end of the book, it has the scenario. So there's a good chunk on scenario. So the scenarios cover from the War of Spanish Succession all the way up to the Zulu Wars. So it gives you a flavor depending on where you want to dive into. It gives you stuff. So you got one on the War of Spanish Succession, the Jacobite Wars, the Scottish Civil Wars. Then you got some 7 Years' War, North America. American Revolution. It gives you basically one battle, the behinds, how to set the table up, and the troops involved. I said I'll go over detail later on these things. So, but then you got kind of War of 1812, Napoleonics, Contra Bras. And so once you start getting Napoleonics, you start getting a lot latches. But this is so this is just the French. So you start getting to a lot of different forces and stuff. So it does starts getting more and more detailed and stuff once you get farther through the years and stuff. This is another Napoleonics. This is a cavalry battle for Waterloo. Something at What If. There you go. And you got American Civil War. It gives you a scenario for that period. So, and you got one, a couple more. You just got one about the cavalry, the Indian Wars. So if you want to do some Old West. It also has a breakdown if you want to do like the Victorian Wars. So these are like all the enemies that England fought during that period. So you got like an unlimited amount of historical periods that you can play. So whatever depends. Then we end up with the Zulu Wars. So this gives a quick breakdown. I said I'll be doing videos about the rules and stuff later, but I said this get fast look at the set of rules. So if you're interested, it's I can't say it's easy to get into. It's like linear combat. It does take a lot of troops to get. But if you want to do less, I say this covers like the Indian Wars. That way that's basically almost skirmish everything skirmish combat. So you really don't need a lot of troops for that. But this is good for regimental and up. If you play do a lot of skirmish going down, you can do it. But I think there's other game systems that are better at skirmish combat because they're written for that smaller scale. But this is written for bigger scale. This is by getting guys on the board, moving quick, rolling dice, people having fun. So I hope you enjoyed this. This is just, I say, a quick overrun. I'm going to be going over the supplements too. So, so until later, guys, have fun, get miniatures on that table, and get them painted. Okay, guys? Until later.